Niti Ayog. On the 13th of August 2014, the Modi government scrapped the 65-year-old Planning Commission and announced that it would be replaced by a new body. Accordingly, on January 1st, 2015, the Niti Ayog, National Institution for Transforming India, was established as the successor to the Planning Commission. However, it must be noted here that the Niti Ayog, like that of the Planning Commission, was also created by an executive resolution of the Government of India, that is Union Cabinet. Hence, it also neither a constitutional body nor a statutory body. In other words, it is a non-constitutional or extra-constitutional body that is not created by the constitution, and a non-statutory body that is not created by an act of the parliament. Niti Ayog is the premier policy think tank of the Government of India, providing both directional and policy inputs while designing strategic and long-term policies and programs for the Government of India. Niti Ayog also provides relevant technical advice to the center and states. The center to state one way flow of the policy that was the hallmark of the Planning Commission era is now sought to be replaced by a genuine and continuing partnership of states. In a paradigmatic shift from the command and control approach of the past, Niti Ayog accommodates diverse points of view in a collaborative rather than confrontational setting. In the spirit of federalism, Niti's own policy thinking too is shaped by a bottom up approach rather than a bottom down model. While explaining the reason for replacing the Planning Commission with the Niti Ayog, the Union government made the following observation. India has undergone a paradigm shift over the past 6 decades, politically, economically, socially, technologically, as well as demographically. The role of government in national development has been a parallel evolution. Keeping these things changing times, the Government of India has decided to set up Niti Ayog, that is National Institution for Transforming India, in place of the Eastwhile Planning Commission as a means to better serve the needs and aspirations of the people of India. The new institution will be a catalyst to the developmental process, nurturing and overall enabling environment through a holistic approach to development going beyond the limited sphere of the public sector and Government of India. This will be built on the foundations of first one, an empowered role of states as equal partners in national development, operationalizing the principle of cooperative federalism. Second, a knowledge hub of internal as well as external resources, serving as a repository of good governance, best practices, and a think tank offering domain knowledge as well as strategic expertise to all levels of government. 3. A collaborative platform facilitating implementation by monitoring progress, plugging gaps, and bringing together the various ministers at the center and in states in the joint pursuit of developmental goals. In the same context, the Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said the 65-year-old Planning Commission had become a redundant organization. It was relevant in a command economy structure but not any longer. India is a diversified country and its states are in various phases of economic development according with their own strengths and weaknesses. In this context, a one size fits all approach to economic planning is obsolete. It cannot make India competitive in today's global economy. The resolution absorbed, perhaps most importantly, the institution must adhere to the tenet that while incorporating positive influence from the world, no single model can be transplanted from the outside into the Indian scenario. We need to find our own strategy for growth. The new institution has to zero in on what will work in and for India. It will be a Bharatiya approach to development. Then composition. The composition of the Niti Ayog is like this. First, chairperson. Who is the chairperson? The PM of India. Second composition, governing council. It comprises the CM of all the states, CM of union territories with legislatures like Delhi, Puducherry, and governors of other union territories. C. Regional councils. These are formed to address specific issues and contingencies impacting more than one state or a region. These are formed for a specified tenure. These are convenes by the PM and comprises of the CM of states and lieutenant governors of union territories in the region. These are chaired by the chairperson of the Niti Ayog or his nominee. Fourth composition, special invitees, experts, specialists, and practitioners with relevant domain knowledge are special invitees nominated by the PM. Then, full time organizational framework. It comprises, in addition to the PM as the chairperson, vice chairperson कौन रहेगा? He is appointed by the PM. He enjoys the rank of a cabinet minister. Then members, they are full time, they enjoy the rank of minister of state. Then part time members, maximum of 2 from leading universities, research organizations, and other relevant institutions in an ex officio capacity. Part time members would be on a rotation. Ex officio members, maximum of 4 members of the Union Council of Ministers to be nominated by the PM. Then chief executive officer, he is appointed by the PM for a fixed tenure in the rank of secretary to the Government of India. Then secretariat, as deemed necessary. Next, what are the specialized wings? Niti Ayog houses a number of specialized wings like research wing, consultancy wing, Team India wing. So let's discuss what is research wing. It develops in-house sectoral expertise as a dedicated think tank of top-notch domain experts, specialists, and scholars. Consultancy wing. It provides a marketplace of vetted panels of expertise and funding for the central and state governments to tap into matching their requirements with solution providers, public and private, national and international. By playing matchmaker instead of providing the entire service itself, Niti Ayog is able to focus its resources on priority matters, providing guidance and an overall quality check to the rest. What is a Team India wing? It comprises of the representatives from every state and ministry and serves as a permanent platform for national collaboration, and each representative ensures that every state or ministry has a continuous voice and stake in the Niti Ayog. Second, establishes a direct communication channel between the state or ministry and Niti Ayog for all development related matters as the dedicated liaison interface. Niti Ayog functions in close cooperation, consultation, and coordination with the ministers of the central government and the state governments. While it makes recommendations to the central and state governments, the responsibility for taking and implementing decisions rests with them. Then, what are the objectives? What are the objectives of Niti Ayog? The objectives are like, first, to evolve a shared vision of national development priorities, sectors, and strategies with the active involvement of states. Second, to foster cooperative federalism through structured support initiatives and mechanisms with the states on a continuous basis, recognizing that strong states make a strong nation. Third, to develop mechanisms to formulate credible plans at the village level and aggregate these progressively at higher levels of government. 4. To ensure on areas that are specifically referred to it that the interests of national security are incorporated in economic strategy and policy. Fifth, to pay special attention to the sections of our society that may be at risk if not benefiting adequately from economic progress. 6. To design strategic and long term policy and program frameworks and initiatives and monitor their progress and their efficiency. The lessons learned through monitoring and feedback will be issued for making innovative improvements, including necessary mid course corrections. 7. To provide advice and encourage partnerships between key stakeholders and national and international like minded think tanks, as well as educational and policy research institutions. 8. To create a knowledge, innovation, and entrepreneurial support system through a collaborative community of national and international experts, practitioners, and other partners. 9. To offer a platform for resolution of intersectoral and interdepartmental issues in order to accelerate the implementation of the development agenda. 10. To maintain a state of the art resource center. State of the art be a repository of research on good governance and best practices in sustainable and equitable development, as well as help their dissemination to stakeholders. 11. To actively monitor and evaluate the implementation of programs and initiatives, including the identification of the needed resources so as to strengthen the probability of success and scope of delivery. 12. To focus on technology upgradation and capacity building for implementation of programs and initiatives. 13. To undertake other activities as may be necessary in order to further the execution of the national development agenda and the objectives mentioned already mentioned above. Through the above, the Niti Ayog aims to accomplish the following objectives and opportunities like this: an administration paradigm in which the government is an enabler rather than a provider of first and last resort; progress from food security to focus on a mix of agricultural production as well as actual returns that farmers get from their produce. 3. Ensure that India is an active player in the debates and deliberations on the global commons. 4. Ensure that the economically vibrant middle class remains engaged and its potential is fully realized. 5. Leverage India's pool of entrepreneur, scientific and intellectual human capital. 6. Incorporate the significant geo-economic and geopolitical strength of the non-resident Indian community. 7. Use urbanization as an opportunity to create a wholesome and secure habitat through the use of modern technology. 8. Use technology to reduce opacity and potential for misadventures in the government. The Niti Ayog aims to enable India to better face complex challenges through the following: elimination of poverty and the chance for every Indian to live a life dignity and self-respect, leveraging of India's demographic dividend and realization of the potential of youth, men and women through education, skill development, elimination of gender bias and employment, redressal of inequalities based on gender bias, caste and economic disparities, integrate villages institutionally into the development process, policy support to more than 50 million small business which are a major source of employment creation, safeguarding our environmental and ecological assets. Here is it for this video, and we will discuss the next part from the functions and the other rest part of Indian polity, Laxmikant, Niti Ayog chapter in the another part. Thank you so much for viewing, and please comment so that I will know what condition it is required me to be follow, and thank you so much.